Hello everyone. Today we will have a session on Module 2.4, Units 1 and 2, covering topics on bibliography and MARC. This video is produced as a requirement for ISSC 123 course, submitted by Benjamin Riquero. Let's go. The outline for this lesson is as follows: bibliography, bibliographic information, bibliographic information cataloging, machine-readable cataloging or MARC, and a short description of MARC 21 and Unimark standards. Let's have the definition first. What is bibliography? The etymology of the word was from the Greek term biblion, meaning book, and graphia, meaning writing. In the early 19th century, the French term bibliography emerged, paving the way to the modern term bibliography. It is a list of resources referred to or used by an author. It can be within a book or resource, or could be produced separately, just like a Houseman sketch. It can also be defined as list of books and other resources thought to be useful on a particular subject, just like the image here. There are types of bibliography based on purpose or discipline. First is enumerative, systematic list of books and other works. Analytical examines the material features of a textual artifact such as type of paper, ink, etc. Descriptive provides data about the book, printing, and context. And textual focuses on the author's creative message as expressed in the physical object. From enumerative, there is a sub-discipline based on citation style, one of which is APA, Chicago, and MLA. Before we go on to the next definition, let's have a look on bibliography versus reference and cited works list. This creates lots of confusion for writers and college students. As the Venn diagram shows, it can be said that bibliography is more of an informal version of listing, and it does not require to be mentioned in the text. Reference or cited works list are meant to direct readers to the specific work or part cited, and there is a followed format when writing such. Both, though, are alphabetical arranged and include similar information. Now back to the definition. What is bibliographic information? This is information about a resource consulted during the process of a work and written in a standard bibliographic format. It includes author, title, publishing information, volume, pagination, URL in case of online resource. What is bibliographic information cataloging? It is the process of creating metadata representing information resources such as books, moving images, sound recordings, providing information such as title, names, and subjects, leading to a bibliographic record. Cataloging, being an important task carried by librarians, will be the center of this module. Let's go back in time and reminisce the history of bibliographic cataloging. Since the beginning of time, man is fascinated in expressing daily events of his life. From clay tablets to the hieroglyphs of Egypt, man has made sure that their life will be remembered. When papyrus was discovered in Alexandria in 4 BC as a writing material, the amount of information made it possible for the great library of antiquity to keep scrolls of information. This would lead to great men such as Herodotus, the first librarian of Alexandria, to devise a scheme to keep the scrolls in order. And he did. The use of alphabetical scheme and arrangement of title, author, and subject will become the modern cornerstone of cataloging. Note that progress not only happened in one part of the world over time. In China, wood block printing were used in the Sui dynasty around 7 to 10 BC. In Italy, the same engraving was used by Albrecht Dürer in his work Apocalypse. Though this is many years apart, there is already transfer of technology happening in the old times. But the basis of modern printing emerged when Gutenberg invented the movable type printing. His technology has led to mass production of books and other resources, leading to the exponential growth of libraries. This led to the use of card catalog in keeping records in order. Then, in 1960s, a new form of catalog was proposed. The electronic catalog, which led to the modern-day library catalog or OPAC. MARC will be the basis of today's cataloging format. What is the common denominator here? As new technologies emerge, men have new means to record and publish information. More records would mean more challenges for us librarians to keep this in order. What is MARC? It is an acronym for Machine-Readable Cataloging Record. Machine-readable can be read and interpreted by a machine such as a computer. Cataloging record simply means bibliographic record, which includes description, main entry or added entries, subject headings, and call number. So why do we need MARC? Imagine that we are still using card catalogs at the moment. Is it going to be a challenge to find for resources by moving from one cabinet to another? What about updates? Do you need to pull out one drawer, remove the cards, and insert new card to update a record? MARC allows proper cataloging of library resources. It is also a time and space saver. Imagine the space needed to keep card catalog cabinets versus online catalog on a mobile device or a laptop. And standards are meant to push for uniformity, cost-effective measures, and easy migration. With MARC format, there is no need to print new cards. A simple update would only mean uploading records into the server or using codes for automatic updates. Let's go back in time and reminisce the events that led to the modern-day cataloging. In 1950s, the Library of Congress carried several studies on how computers can be used in cataloging. In the same period, the British National Bibliography has carried out its own studies that is different to Library of Congress. In 1966, Machine Readable Cataloging Project, or MARC, sends data on tapes to 16 libraries. In 1968, LC and B&B formed MARC II and targets Anglo-American format. When you say Anglo-American format, it simply means American and British format. 1968 to 1998, over 50 MARC formats were developed worldwide. And in 1977, the IFLA, or International Federation of Library Association, proposed Unimark. Between 1998 to 2001, alignment of US MARC, Canada MARC, and UK MARC formed what is now called MARC 21. And in 2013, the implementation of Resource Description and Access, or RDA, and developing successor to MARC 21. There are 5 communication formats for MARC. The first is bibliographic, authority data, holdings data, classification data, and community information. We will put emphasis on the bibliographic. Let's talk about the elements of a MARC record. Record structure refers to the way various elements in a record are identified. They are divided in 3 parts: leader, directory, and variable fields. Data content are elements that comprise a MARC record that is usually defined by standards outside the formats. Examples are AACR2, ISBD, and LCHH. Content designation refers to the codes and conventions established explicitly to identify and further characterize the data elements within the record and to support the manipulation of the data. There are 2 sub-elements: fixed fields and variable fields. We will put our focus on the variable fields since this is where librarians are heavily involved. Here's the anatomy of a MARC. The red box is called a field. Each bibliographic record is divided logically into fields. There is a field for author, title, publisher, and etc. Each field is associated with a 3-digit number called tag, which is in the green box. A tag is an identification of a field. Example is tag 020, which is ISBN. Instead of writing the word International Standard Book Number, tag 020 is assigned to make it short. Indicators are 2 numbers read separately, bearing digits from 0 to 9. This is the one in the blue box. The first digit is meant whether a title is the main title entry or not. Having 0 digit means a title entry is involved, while 1 means not, and separate index needs to be produced. The latter is the most common situation in this case. The second digit is for non-filing characters. For example, the book title is The Iron Giant. The article "the" is ignored, including the space after it. So if you will count THE, that is 3 characters, and the computer will index I, which happens to be the 4th character and the first letter of the title iron. Another example is A Walk to Remember. The article "a" will be ignored and the space after it, so the computer will start with the second letter, which is W, as in walk. The yellow ones are called delimiters. It is a character used to separate subfields. Double dagger, $, underscore, @ are most commonly used delimiter. In this example, the pipe is used. A subfield is a data within a field. In this example, subfield A is the title and C is the statement of the responsibility. There are different subfields for each field, and you will have to refer to the complete list available in the Library of Congress website. MARC tags are tagged by the hundreds. 0XX is for the control info, 1XX for the main entries, 2XX for titles, edition, imprint, 3XX for physical description, 4XX for series statement, 5XX for notes, 6XX for subject access fields, 7XX for added entries, 8XX for series added entries, and 9XS for locally defined users. MARC tags have the feature called parallel content. For example, X00 are for personal names, X10 for corporate names, X11 for meeting names, X30 for uniform titles, and X40 for bibliographic titles. Let's take tag 600 as example in parallel content. 600 for subject added entry personal name, 610 for subject added entry corporate name, 611 for subject added entry meeting name, 630 for subject added entry uniform title, and for 640 apparently there's none. Here is a list of the most commonly used MARC tags. 010 for the LC control number, 020 for ISBN, 100 for author, main entry, 245 for title information, 250 for edition, 260 for publication information, 300 for physical description, 490 for series statement, 520 for summary note, 650 for topical subject heading, and 700 for personal name added entry. Now everything comes handy as most library systems are doing cataloging. However, if you are doing original cataloging and has covered all of these tags, most likely your bibliographic record is good to go. Now let's have a short dig on the most popular MARC standard, MARC 21. It is actually a redefinition of the original MARC record format for the 21st century. 21st century, hence MARC 21. It is the result of the combination of UK Canada and US MARC format based on SAE 39.2 and ANSI NISO standard, and uses MARC 8 or Unicode encoded as UTF-88, allowing use of languages such as Hebrew, Arabic, and other scripts. Here's an example of UTF-8. Why don't you try to decode this by going to this website? Try to paste this code over here and see what it means. The SAE 39.2 and ANSI NISO standard are communication formats and needs to be strictly followed in order to encourage proper exchange of information. Let's go on to Unimark. Unimark is an international standard developed by IFLA in 1977 to be a switching format to enable wider exchange of bibliographic data. Remember in the previous slide, between 1968 to 1998, more than 50 different formats have been developed by national libraries. Most of the libraries can share their records, but it is time-consuming to edit such. IFLA made it possible to convert directly from one format to another instead of going to another format. Example, before Unimark, the conversion is like this. One software to convert UK to US MARC, another software to convert CanMark to US MARC, and another software to convert Intermark to US MARC. With Univac, all you need is a software to convert any format to Unimark and vice versa. From Unimark, it can be converted to your desired MARC format. Unimark is also used to develop new models of machine-readable bibliographic formats, but despite this contribution by IFLA, it does not receive due consideration. As a final word, here's a screenshot of a MARC record from a librarian's standpoint, and here is from a user standpoint. So next time someone tells you that you have the easiest job in the world, show them a screenshot of this record so they will appreciate you. Thank you for listening and stay safe.